Have you ever heard of a war manual that's actually secretly a guide to peace? Well, today we're going to dive deep into one of history's most misunderstood texts, Sun Tzu's The Art of War. For something like 2,500 years, this book has been the go-to for leaders of all kinds. They pore over its pages trying to figure out how to win, how to dominate, how to get that crucial edge in any conflict. But here's the thing. That whole view that it's just some ruthless guide to crushing your competition, it completely misses the point. It overlooks the book's much deeper and, frankly, much more powerful central message. So let's really get into it. What if the ultimate lesson here isn't about fighting smarter, but about winning without ever having to fight in the first place? We're about to explore a pretty radical way of looking at this ancient classic. Okay, first up, let's talk about the myth of Sun Tzu. We need to tackle the book's intimidating reputation head-on. You see it everywhere, right? In the boardroom, in political campaigns, and of course, on the battlefield. It's always pitched as this cold, calculating playbook for winning through brute force and clever tricks. But, and this is a big but, the single most famous line in the entire book throws a massive wrench into that whole idea. It presents this fascinating paradox that really holds the key to everything. Yup, you heard that right. Sun Tzu himself says that the greatest skill, the absolute pinnacle of strategic genius, is to get what you want without a single battle. So how on earth is that even possible? To really get this, there's a fantastic old Taoist story that just captures the philosophy perfectly. It's the parable of the three healers. So the physician explains, look, my eldest brother, he's the real master. He stops sickness before it can even form. My other brother, he's good. He cures illness when it's just a tiny little thing. Me, well, I'm the famous one, but I'm actually the least skilled because I only show up when the illness is already severe. And that's the core lesson right there. The highest form of mastery is completely invisible. The best healer isn't famous because he makes sure the problems never even start. And that is a perfect analogy for Sun Tzu's philosophy. The greatest general, just like the best doctor, wins by disrupting the enemy's plans and breaking up their alliances long before any armies ever have to march. They prevent the fight from ever happening. So where does this radical idea even come from? Well, the secret ingredient here isn't a philosophy of war, it's a philosophy of harmony. Taoism. And I mean, the book is absolutely soaked in Taoist principles. It's not just sprinkled in for flavor, it's the very foundation of its deepest insights. It's all about finding balance, practicing moderation, and understanding the natural flow of things to avoid conflict. I mean, this quote from a Taoist classic pretty much says it all. Weapons are bad news, a total last resort. Sun Tzu echoes this idea, teaching that things like anger and greed are what ultimately lead to defeat. The true warrior is calm, detached, and reserved. All right, so let's get practical. How do these big philosophical concepts actually translate into real-world strategies? Well, let's talk about the strategy of water. One of the biggest concepts is what Sun Tzu calls formlessness. This is all about being subtle, mysterious, unpredictable. You hide your intentions, your movements, your real strength, until your opponent literally has nothing to attack. How can you plan against a ghost? And Sun Tzu's go-to analogy here is water. Think about it. Water is endlessly adaptable. You can't grab it. It flows around any obstacle. Over time, it can wear down the hardest stone. That is the essence of strategic genius, being fluid and responsive. So, by being formless, you save your own energy. You can spot opportunities and react to them before your opponent even knows what's happening. You win by being quicker and smarter, not necessarily by being bigger and stronger. Okay, another huge piece of the puzzle is learning to see the difference between a strong, unified group and a weak, divided one. Sun Tzu calls this understanding emptiness and fullness. A full organization is totally united. It has strong leadership, high morale. An empty one? It's a mess, full of infighting, confusion, low energy. The master strategist doesn't just crash their strength into the enemy's strength. No way. You use your fullness to attack their emptiness. You hit them right where they're weakest. Finally, we have to talk about the book's profound moral dimension. It's like a hidden compass that guides the warrior not just to victory, but toward real wisdom. There's this classic Taoist story about the Monkey King. This guy gets these incredible, almost godlike powers, but he has no wisdom, no moral compass to guide him, so he just uses his power recklessly, causing absolute chaos everywhere he goes. Eventually, he gets taken down, and they place this magical ring on his head. Whenever he acts out of ego or malice, the ring tightens and causes him pain. It's a tool, basically, to teach him that true strength has to be guided by compassion and restraint. And really, when you think about it, the art of war is that ring of compassion. It's a guide for leaders, reminding them that true mastery isn't about winning fights. It's about having the wisdom to make those fights unnecessary. The ultimate victory, as Sun Tzu teaches us, is creating a world where peace can win. So I'll leave you with that question. Is the greatest victory the one that's never even fought?